Good morning, everybody. This is Casey Kennedy. I'm the Director of IT here at the Texas Office of Court Administration, and I'm also the lead staff for our Judicial Committee on Information Technology. And this morning we're going to be going through case notices, which is a new feature that will be turning on SearchTX on October the 1st, coming up here pretty soon. First, let's talk about what is SearchTX. It's located at research.txcourts.gov. And it's our statewide electronic document access system for all court documents across Texas. There is no cost to sign up for or to search on SearchTX. And most of our counties now are integrated with SearchTX. And what that means is that whenever a local clerk dockets an event to their case management system, that within about 30 minutes, SearchTX will see that event and document. It's important to note that right now civil cases are mandated to be on SearchTX. However, the Court of Criminal Appeals has not yet mandated criminal cases, although clerks are allowed to post those kinds of cases onto SearchTX today. Now that we know what SearchTX is, how do you go ahead and get access to research? Well, first, obviously, you need to head over to research.txcourts.gov. And if you already have an eFile Texas account, go ahead and click on that button that says sign in with your eFile Texas account. The system will take you through a short verification process to make sure that your e-service address and your bar number are linked up and associated properly. If you haven't already accessed electronic filing, you can go into SearchTX by clicking on the register button at the top where this arrow is pointing, and it too will take you through the registration process and get you hooked up into SearchTX. So next, let's talk about what happens today in SearchTX. Well, first off, the filer files into a case via eFile Texas or by paper if they're pro se. And then the clerk staff will accept that document and then enter it into their case management system. Whenever that system is integrated within SearchTX, the case management system will update SearchTX with that new information. And the clerk's office may be sending out notifications to you manually on that case update. If an attorney has signed up for our free case alert system, included in SearchTX, they will receive an alert that action has been taken on a case that they're interested in. So some drawbacks to this approach of having case alerts instead of case notices. First, it requires attorneys to go ahead and create that login to SearchTX and to do that proactively rather than being automatic regardless of if you're on research. It doesn't guarantee that each attorney on the case gets that case alert. So if I'm an attorney on a case and I've signed up for case alert, my opposing counsel may not have signed up for case alerts. And if that's the case, then whenever activity occurs on the case, I'll get notice, but my opposing counsel may not. So now let's talk about the difference between case alerts and case notices. For case alerts, those are available today. Those are completely opt-in. You have to go in and proactively sign up for case alerts on cases that you're interested in. If you're the attorney on the case or the party on the case alerts cost nothing. They are at no charge. However, if you are signing up for case alerts for cases where you're not a party on the case or an attorney on the case, there will be a small fee that our vendor will charge to set up that case alert. It does require you to go ahead and research with SearchTX in order to get those case alerts. And it's triggered not only by integration, but tied to our electronic filing system. If something comes in electronically, those case alerts will trigger as well. And finally, with case alerts, you have the ability to opt out from them whenever you feel the need to opt out or stop receiving those case alerts, you can do that. Now for case notices, those will be turning on October the 1st, and these are automatic notifications. They will be sent out to the attorney of record on the case, and it's based on the attorney of record in the clerk's case management system. And using that bar number, we then look up the electronic service address that that attorney has on file with the state bar, and we send the notice to that email address. None of these case notices cost anything to any of the attorneys, and the way you opt out of them is the same way you would opt out of getting notifications on case if it were a paper notice. So that's usually by withdrawing from the case. In order to have this happen, we obviously have to have that linkage between the local case management system and research, and that's done through integration. So this is only going to work starting on 10/1 for all clerk offices that are integrated. Currently, as of this recording, we have roughly 250 of the 443 clerks integrated, but we expect to have most all of them integrated by November the 1st of this year. So it'll get more and more and more. Right now, we are seeing that approximately 98% of the clerks in counties with a population greater than 60,000 are integrated today. So our metro areas are fully integrated. Also, these case notices do fulfill the clerks and courts requirements to notify attorneys for case notices. And so these will become the case notices for attorneys on activities on the case. So then starting on October 1st, what's going to end up happening is a filer will file into the case, and this can still happen via e-file texts or e-filing or on paper if it's a pro se turning in paper. The clerk staff will continue to enter things into their local case management system as they do today. That case management system will then turn around and update research. Usually occurs within about 30 minutes of docketing on the case. And then a case notice will be sent out to all active attorneys or the attorneys of record on the case using their state bar e-service email address. An important thing again to remember is registration is not required for SearchTX. If you are an attorney of record on the case, we'll use your bar number to look up your electronic service email address and send a case notice. So here we see a sample email that you'll receive as a case notice coming out for SearchTX starting on October the 1st. It's important to note that these will come from no-reply@researchtx.com. You may want to work with your IT department to put that email address on your allow list so that you can ensure that you get those case notices. Both the subject and in the message, you'll notice that we have the case number and the style related to the case notice. This allows you to glance very quickly to see if it's something that is important to you. And then down in that table, you see we have a description of what is being filed. So in this particular example, you can see that this is an order that was filed on the case. And then we have a link for you to go in and click on that will allow you to view the document that this notice is about. In the event that you have any kind of email link filtration set up, we also have a direct link that you can just copy and paste in your browser if that link happens to not work or something's wrong with that link. So there are some possible attorney actions that will be needed with SearchTX as you prepare for our October 1st date. The first thing is to verify that your e-service address with the state bar is where you want it to be. And what this may entail is that you may want to work with your firm's IT department to perhaps set up a distribution list. And what this will allow you to do is to take your e-service address and change that to a distribution list so that not only would you get that email, but perhaps your paralegals or other attorneys in the firm may want to get those notices as well. It's important to know that your bar registration only takes one email address in that e-service field, but there's nothing keeping attorneys from working with their IT department to set up a distribution list to put in that field instead of a direct email account. Do be aware that it is going to send case notices to active attorneys. So if you have cases to where you are no longer should be the attorney of record, that you may want to go ahead and withdraw from those cases. If you don't, that's fine too. Just be aware that you may start receiving notices for cases that you may have been the attorney of record on long ago, but may not have gotten off the case just yet. So again, attorney's choice, you can either walk down memory lane and delete the email, or you can withdraw from the case. Another recommendation that we have is to go ahead and register in advance for SearchTX. If you click on that link to view the document and you have not yet registered for SearchTX, it will take you through the process to register before you show the before showing you the document. If you have registered for SearchTX, you'll be able to log in and continue on to see the document. So if you do have any questions, the email address is right here on the screen. Normally this is given in a webinar format, and we have a Q&A section for people to ask questions, but since this is a recording, we don't have that here. But if you still need help or you have other questions, you can email us at research.support@tylertech.com, and then my work email address is also at the front of this presentation. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.